good evening, and welcome to Damage Does D&D. It's Sunday, so therefore it's the investigators. So, without further ado, because there was much investigating last time, dragons! I'll hand you over to our DM, Martin.
A very professional start there, Chaz. It was 7:30 and 1 second when you said good evening, so we're bang on schedule.
Absolutely first class. We're professional.
Last time we had a fun little escape from regular investigating, where the team travelled to the town of Contarara, as it is currently named, since the previous owner, Contarara herself, has gone missing. We'll see if she turns back up. But the local ancient, a friend of the party, Seti, had organised 7 dragons to compete for the ownership of the town. So we headed over to the town of Contarara and enjoyed the fight. With the blue dragon Laskilith taking the victory, with 4 dead dragons and 2 submitting to him. And I think we pretty much just ended as the fight had finished. So we'll pick back up. We're still around the arena. Thaddeus has collected his 27 gold.
Awesome.
28.
Was it 28?
Wow.
How much did you spend on bets?
20. Because that's the one that won me 8 gold.
On all bets was about
About
120?
110?
Something like that.
Amazing.
Can I go over to the person, the bookie?
Which person?
The bookie.
Yeah.
And I want to cast a 4th level suggestion on him.
Okay. Let's have some dice. What's my save?
Wisdom save.
12.
Oh, it fails. But, I want to suggest to him that I bet on the blue dragon all along.
You think bookies would have protection about that against that kind of shit?
Well,
You'd like to think so.
Yes, if you have the slip proving.
You don't need the slip. You remember me.
Yes, I remember you. What was your stake again?
400 gold, I think.
Right, of course. What was your name again? So I remember the face, but as he starts counting out money.
Thaddeus.
Very good. Congratulations, sir. And he hands you 560 gold.
I think it was a bit more than that.
I know a stake of 400 nets you 560.
Okay, I'll let you off. Pleasure doing business with you. I'll just walk off.
that's fucking big balls moves in a city of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, dearie me.
Didn't really know how to handle that. Just went with it.
It's often the way.
I have used like half of my spell slots, so
True.
it's a block.
Okay. So, Amarius comes back jangling a pouch, or maybe he's tucked it away. And it's not long before Seti comes to you. Ah, well, I hope you enjoyed the entertainment.
Yes, it was very interesting. Although I must say I didn't expect the chromatic dragons to team up as they did. I was kind of expecting that from the metallic side, but it was most odd. But highly entertaining nonetheless.
Yes, it's a shame that some of them will fight to the death rather than concede. But
True.
it is, I suppose, in our nature.
Certainly a fight to behold.
I think that is a once in many a lifetimes opportunity to have seen such a thing. But this evening there will be a ceremony swearing Ascilith in as the new head of this town, and there will be some entertainment and festivities. If you would care to stick around.
Certainly. Do we have time?
Well,
I mean,
with
I
the
suppose we do.
Without distracting Amarius.
things chasing us, maybe we shouldn't be in one place for too long.
Yes, indeed.
Well, only been here for about 20
It's
minutes.
really weird feedback from you, Martin.
Really?
Yeah, it's just there's a.
I think that was my fault. Has it stopped?
It has, yes.
I was cleaning the little coffee stains at the side of my mug, and it was on my desk, which is connected to the arm of my microphone.
Gotcha.
Vibrations and all,
Yep.
not of the good kind.
Good vibrations.
Yes, indeed, the best vibrations.
Well, I need to stay here for at least the ceremony. So if you did plan on going anywhere, you will have to either leave without me or wait a few hours.
Well, it would be rude to disappear now, I suspect. Your hospitality has been so good so far.
I'm not sure we want to offend another dragon.
Well, quite.
At least not this early.
Let's have a look at the dragon festivities. This has never been seen, well, for quite some time, I would imagine. If ever.
Yes, it is often.
Well, if we're going to be here for a couple of hours, sort of once we've decided to stay, Kral will go and find a spot, pull out his tools, and start having a look at those braces that he's got,
Okay.
and just see if he can actually fix them.
Fair enough. So, as you can see, there are people. Well, the gambling sorts are starting to take down their stalls, the betting stalls, and people are setting up more back in the town, in the square, setting up stalls with drinks and all sorts going on. Is anyone else doing anything? Kral's found a spot.
Yeah,
I'm going to pull out my book.
there was a scroll given to me, which I can't find.
Yes.
It was
there
a custom one, I think. That might be why
Yeah.
it's
Ah,
on
yes.
it, because it was
Because
for
it was
the
the
bubble
privacy
spell.
bubble. Yeah, the privacy bubble that Seti.
Yeah, so I was going to try and transcribe
Transcribe
that
it.
into my book.
Okay. I haven't got around to creating that. How long does that generally take? You just need and time.
Let me see.
Isn't it an hour per, depending on what level it is or something along
Not
those
for
lines?
me, no.
Usually it's 2 hours plus an hour for each level of the spell, but obviously, if you've got your special spell book, it might take less time.
And I'm sure there's something about my quill that grants me. Yeah, it's 2 minutes per spell level.
Fuck
Wow.
me.
I've got a wizardly quill. So it appears out of nowhere, and if I use that to transcribe a spell, it takes 2 minutes per spell level.
Okay. It doesn't take you long at all. Yeah.
I will.
Sasha's still trying to find where she got to in her book. So,
I'll make a note of it, unless you haven't created the spell yet, have you?
no, not yet.
Just upset all of the bookish people in the party. I'll lean over to Sasha and whisper to her in that kind of, stage whisper that it's really handy if you fold over the corner of the page to mark your spot.
I think you'll probably see Thaddeus and Mazdak kind of.
Yeah, bit of a twitch there.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yes, I may not be a avid reader, but even I know not to do that.
Not in the presence of Mazdak, anyway.
So Kral has a sort of like 1 inch by 6 inch piece of like steel, very thin steel that you can basically just hands it immediately straight over, because he's not particularly sort of bookish as such, because he is dog-eared like blueprints and plans, but even he winced at that one and literally just hands this piece of like metal to mark the place in the book, and then carries on doing what he's doing.
Appreciated, thank you.
After
Maybe you're
Mazdak's done, Thaddeus will just be like, Mazdak,
Yes.
I've just been thinking. I know the past couple of days I haven't hidden the key we have.
Right.
And I've just had a thought. Maybe that spell may be best on Amarius. It may help with the thing not following him if they're using any divination magic for it.
Yes, of course. I mean, I can put the key in my bag. I have a bag of holding.
Oh, marvellous, yes.
In fact, I think I do. Yeah, I do.
Yes, it would mean for 8 hours. I can cast it a few times as well if need be when it runs out on him, but it may give us the edge for not being chased by a
Indeed.
big fire elemental. Amarius,
Yes.
I may have a way of slowing down whatever's following you, depending on how they are following you. If you wouldn't mind, I'd just like to cast a spell on you so they wouldn't actually be able to see you.
Hold on a minute. What spell?
The spell's called non-detection, so basically anything what wants to follow you through divination magic wouldn't be able to.
Right.
It may put him off your scent for at least a little bit.
I reluctantly agree. This is going to make you feel better.
Well, yes, it might give us a bit more time and the places we go to a bit more time so they don't get swallowed up by a big fire elemental.
Crawled.
I won't say his name, but no. And I'll just put a hand on your shoulder and I will cast non-detection on you. And that lasts 8 hours. So just for your reference, DM, I don't know how obviously he is doing it, but for the duration, you hide a target that you touch from divination magic. The target can be a willing creature or an object, blah, 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 blah. The target can't be targeted by any divination magic or perceived through magical scrying senses.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
So, after doing the spell transcription, and I will. So, does anybody want to go and mingle with the dragons and dragonborns, etc., and see what's occurring?
I'd love to and find
Yes,
out all this information and new knowledge.
Yeah. This.
Perhaps I will come with you to make sure you do not get into trouble.
I seriously doubt I would get into trouble.
All I would say is please do not indebt yourself to any of these people.
No.
Of course. We're very busy. I have not time to accept any quests from anybody else.
No, we've got enough as it is, haven't we?
Yes. I will just sort of start wandering off to see. I want to see what the blue dragon is up to.
Okay, so very clearly the blue dragon, Lascilith, sort of flew up out of that arena before doing a bit of a display, Blue Arrow style, before landing with a thud in that centre of town, the place where the dragon of the town stays to accept tribute. And very sort of pompously has been greeting people and accepting tribute as they come to curry favour with the new boss.
Okay. I will queue up to give tribute, because that's what I've done in every other dragon town I've been to. So, and I will reach into my robe of many things and pull out a handful of gems, hoping there's a blue one.
What does the robe say about?
The robe says, if I could find it, a robe of useful items. It gives me, I think it was 10 random gems. I think it was. Just have a look quick. Yeah, 10 gems worth 100 gold pieces each.
Jesus Christ.
Cool.
Nice.
So I will pull them out, and if there are any blue ones,
Let's see. Just the one blue one.
just one blue one. Okay, well that'll do. So I will pocket the rest, and then as I get to the front of the queue, I shall say, "What an amazing display! I am so grateful to have been allowed to watch all of this, and I think that was fantastic. And my name's Mazdak, by the way. I don't think I caught yours yet.
Trying to think of accent.
Whatever you like.
Just leans down with a big smile. Thank you. I am Lascilith.
Lascilith, very pleased to meet you. I am Mazdak. I don't have any other blue things, I'm afraid, but if you would graciously accept this blue gem, sapphire or whatever it is.
Fully in dragon form, just overturns this enormous.
I'll just pop this. I mean, it's 100 gold pieces, so it's probably quite large, so.
Yeah. It is very nice, thank you.
You are most welcome. I'm very pleased to have met you and been to your new town. and I will move along.
Cool.
I should
So, good to meet the boss.
turn to
Meet
Thaddeus.
the new boss.
See-
Same as the old boss.
See, this is a tradition. I know you've probably been here to many Dragon Towns before, but we did this with Seti's Town when we first got there as well. You have to give tribute to the dragon that is in charge.
Is the reason that Contarara took issue with us.
Well, yes, because we didn't go to her town. So. But Lascalith seems nice. I'm sure we'll meet them again at some point.
No doubt
So-
we'll be back in Greconoria at some point.
Yes.
So, as you're moving around or sitting and working on things, things are sort of being set up in a hurry. There's a band that even begins to start to play around the that main square, singing old draconic tunes. There seems to be a tavern that's nearest to that centre, just off one of the branches off of that centre that seems very busy outside. That seems to be where people are going to get their drinks, get something to eat. And yeah, things are being sort of set up for the swearing in ceremony.
Yeah, I'd probably, after we've just like done sort of half an hour, 45 minutes worth of walking, just taking in the sights and everything, I'd probably head back to where Kral and Sasha are, and I will get out my giant book and start reading that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Oh, a study corner. Fantastic. Mastak will wander over and open one of his books and start reading, making notes. With the quill sort of scratching notes in front of him as he sort of...
Yeah, cool. Thaddeus, just keep track of the hours
Yeah,
on the book.
yep, I've got it on my inventory, and I've literally got 1 out of 48 read so
Cool.
far.
There's no time limit on this. It's not a magical book like Sasha's.
Yeah.
It's just a case of getting through it. Okay. Salvio, you doing anything?
Not particularly at the moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna step outside, try and find somewhere natural to be for a moment. And given what we've learned recently, I'm just gonna kind of quietly reach out to Nagale to see if I can still feel her essence. And see if it feels different than it did a few weeks ago.
Okay. You've got to get pretty close to the edge of town before you find anything that's sort of natural. But you can certainly find a little spot that you're comfortable with. Make a faith check for me, please.
15.
Okay. So you find a little patch of grass underneath a tree and you sit there and do your normal thing. Probably giving Meglina a little scritch as you do.
Yeah.
And you can feel that connection. Were you saying anything, trying to communicate, or just feeling for a connection?
Given kind of the nature of our last conversation, I'll just kind of quietly say, I'll never forsake you. I only ask for guidance on what must be done.
So as you do that, you don't hear any words, much more like it used to be before before the last 2 weeks where you had a couple of direct conversations.
Yeah.
There's just a feeling, a warm breeze that blows around you. It just sort of brushes you or just blows your hair a little bit, but it's warm and nice and comforting.
I'll take comfort in kind of knowing that she still has presence.
Yeah.
And she's
And
still with me.
In that way, it is familiar and it is like it used to be, so it doesn't feel like it's changed.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So before long, there begins to be this announcement. Seti has gone to the middle of town and he's back in dragon form and stood next to Lascalith and begins making a speech about the great traditions of these ancient dragon towns and how unusual as the handover as this may be, it gives us an occasion to have a celebration and bring a few people together. Before then proceeding to sort of stand up on his back feet with his wings spread in front of Lascalith, for bringing the hands in, putting them on his shoulders, and then firing his breath into the air. And then sort of moves his head back as Lascalith does the same, and it's all just a show, equivalent to sword on a shoulder type of thing.
Nice.
And steps down, steps back, gestures to Lascalith, who proceeds to then stand up and make his own little speech about it being an honour and the usual sort of stuff. And the handover is complete. There's a big round of applause and there's extra trinkets and things thrown into a pile to give tribute to the new ruler of the town. And then people just sort of turn to the party.
Okay.
There's one other noticeable addition to the party, which is Ema, the bronze dragon, if I remember rightly, from the fight. Cordra seems to have disappeared. They took what they wanted from the corpses, as agreed with Lascalith, and then were seen flying east. Ema, however, on the other hand, seems to have stuck around for the party.
Cool.
So, are you gonna join in, or are you gonna go find Seti and try and get on your way?
I think we ought to find Seti and get going, should we? Because this is
yes.
not that your magic won't work, Thaddeus, but I think I'd feel better if we were actively seeking the things we seek.
Definitely. Time is definitely of the essence and the problem. So,
Indeed.
how many would it have been? Just like an hour we would have got before the festivities.
Yeah, you could have had an hour.
Cool. I'll just put that on the book.
I'm assuming same for me.
Yep.
Well, you started reading a bit before, didn't you? And me and Mazdak went for walkabouts for half an hour, 45 minutes, so I don't know.
True, yeah, fair enough. You can have 2 hours then, Sasha.
46 hours to go.
Yeah, examining the braces, have I worked out what could possibly have been wrong with them, as they sometimes work, they sometimes don't.
Make an investigation check. And as you'd looked at them, the sort of specific nature of them, of being able to cast the same spell from both hands, it was this link that was semi-functional. It always worked once, but sometimes you got a second burst from it.
Right, give me 2 seconds. So I'm going to give myself a flash of genius as well. So I'm going to give myself +5. So, and then it's 21, 29 total.
That's quite a bit. Yeah, you can tell from the sort of the attempt that giant Ember had made to try and repair these before shelving them was all mechanical, but you can tell the issue is more arcane.
Yeah.
In that the material is sort of conducting material that sits on both, that transmits between them. It's just a bit worn out, and it just needs a bit of a replacement. And if you can find the right material, you could fix it.
So I would roughly know what materials I need to replace the connection. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll sort that out when we get back to Cantici, because that's probably the best place to obtain such materials. Yeah, so anybody who was looking at Kral can see he's actually happy and actually quite excited because he's figured it out.
Fair enough.
Solving puzzles is the best reward.
Yeah. But he's got sort of Kez helping him with the tools, and the hawk is sat above them, just basically like a guard dog.
So, Mazdak, where is our first port of call? Is it the island?
Yes, I think that would be the best plan. Sorry, I'm just dragging the map up here. Yes, I think the plan was to go to, I think it was Galmaria.
The Isle of Hanumo.
Yeah, but
yeah,
the teleport in Voyavikia is far away from the island.
Yeah.
So it was recommended that we go to Galmaria.
Yeah.
I think, was that right, Mark DM?
I think that was the capital of Galmaria is certainly closer than the capital of Voyavikia.
Okay.
To the place that you're going.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on the map as well, just to refresh my memory, where were the information we got last session about the elves as well? Whereabouts are they, Martin?
So I will share that for you while we're talking about it.
Cool. Oh, yeah, I've already got a rough map. I haven't got the link thing.
Okay, I'll pop it in the. In fact, I'll grab that, stick it in there, and we'll get it pinned. Map.
Thank you.
Pin message. There we go. Cool. So, yes, Voyavikia is elf country. That is the biggest, at least geographically, it's the biggest country in the world. The big island off the west coast is kind of outcast. In fact, anyone with an interest or proficiency in history specifically, make a history check.
Is this about Voyavikia?
About, elves, Voyavikia.
I will, because Bernia would have.
You've probably done some research on elves.
I will,
I will.
guidance myself as well whilst I do it.
Purely because Kral would have done some research about where he's from, so there may have been some information in Balfour's Land about said things.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought what you'd be looking at would be too relevant here.
Okay.
And if all
Doesn't
seven,
matter
all 7 people go, yeah, I'll make a roll, somebody's going to succeed. So
I rolled quite poorly, but with the guidance, I got an unnatural 20.
I got,
11.
I got 16
okay,
because I'm proficient in history, so
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
rolled.
so
Oh, we rolled the same then, Chad.
Sorry?
We rolled the same then.
Yes.
Bernia, you have a little think. You've read up a little bit on elven culture, but what's coming to your mind isn't really relevant to what you're looking at here. Mazdak, you sort of pick up a bit more, but certainly in conversation with Thaddeus, as you sort of both think during the conversation, the island in question that you're heading to, the outcasts were banished several centuries ago. There was a bit of a growing resentment among some of the population of their insular tendencies. Some of them wanted to kind of break the isolationism of the elves. Actually, it's several thousand years ago, not hundreds. But some of them wanted to break this isolationist policy of the elves. There are plenty of individuals that do that, and quite often end up in Cantitia. You certainly know someone you might be able to talk to a bit about that.
Yep.
But this particular group ended up trying to start an uprising, and they lost, and they got banished. And then over time, because of the they ended up being just thrown onto the prison island that was that island. It was so unimportant to the elves, they didn't even name it. That was just where the banished went. But reports are that from the island itself, the surface is so dangerous with aberrant creatures that these elves ended up going underground. And that is the origins of Drow. They were forced underground and have adapted to it, and now do not like being out in the sunlight.
The irony.
Yeah. But yeah, so certainly the things that you know is there's Drow there, and there are creatures that elves are scared of and run from.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's going to be quite dangerous, I think. But I'm sure that Bernia and Salviel and Sasha will keep us safe.
Yes, I have a few spells to keep us safe.
Yes, I mean, we are not exactly a pushover as a group. We are quite well informed, and we have various weapons at our disposal. So I think once we get it into...
We should still be careful.
Oh, absolutely. We should always be careful. Well, I think once we get underground into... Would we know what the Drow main city is called?
It's in there. The bigger one is Salgalti. Pronounce it, whatever.
Yeah.
Salgalti.
So, once we get into Sandalks, I'm sure that we can have, find the person we're looking for, and convince them that much as we did with Jakoto, that all needs to be done for the cause.
Jakoto isn't hiding, though.
I don't think this person is hiding either.
No. Rikoto was in hiding.
Oh, yes.
She wasn't out and about. This queen may well be a lot more well defended,
Yes.
less willing to speak with us.
Oh, I'm sure that once we explain, everything will be okay.
Mm.
I mean, it's just because they live underground doesn't mean that they're going to be resistant to logic and sense. Much, we've spoken with dragons, we've spoken with giants, we've spoken with Jakoto herself. It's not.
The reputation of Hanumo and what they're capable of, what they're known for,
I'm
it
sure
may
it'll
land
be
it
fine.
not to be.
It'll be fine. We just need to calmly explain things, and they'll just listen.
Well, I hope you're right, but we need to be prepared for you to be wrong.
Well, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. Nothing that we can't handle anyway. Mazdak the optimist. So, let's find Seti and see what his plans are for the evening. So we'll try and track Seti down.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. He is back in dragonborn form, humanoid form, I should say, as to not outshow the new boss. But yeah, he's kicking around in the town square. Spots you come in and wanders over. Oh. How are things?
Yes, it was most interesting. It was. I did enjoy your display of the breath and the with Lascilith. I did speak to him. He seems very nice. I gave him a tribute like you're supposed to. We're learning all the time.
I suspect is why you thought he was nice.
Oh yes, well I'm sure that everything will be absolutely spiffing if we return to the town of Lascilith. It's a very good name, I think. I know. If you were finished with the evening, I mean, in no way do we wish to rush you at all. But I think it would be a good idea for us to get back to Kantichi to do a little research, have a rest and refresh so that we're ready to make our way first thing in the morning.
Okay, I can take you back.
Thank you so much.
Is everyone there, or have you just sent one or two off to go and speak?
I think everyone will be there. We'd all be stopped reading, and we're just as a group, I think.
Put my bookmark in.
Well, let us get outside of town where I've got space to take off, and proceeds to walk west back out the town, and again does the same thing as you experienced before, where he tells you to wait there while he moves away and transforms, and then offers a wing for you to climb up. And once you roll on, he launches into the air and zooms across the sky and lands down just outside of Limintaranax's house on the north side of town. Lets you all off before transforming back.
Thank you. That is absolutely thrilling. Every time that happens, it's just wonderful. I can see why you prefer to be in dragon form. I mean, I can fly, but it's nothing compared to your speed and control that you have. It's truly astonishing.
Thank you. It is tiring switching forms so regularly.
Ah,
But I think I do prefer my original form.
it is glorious.
Seems very pleased.
Mazdak genuinely means every word he says. So,
Well, if you need to get back to Kantichi, then I'm sure Limiteradax can spare you his teleportation skills.
that would be amazing. Thank you, Seti. And I hope you have a restful night.
And good luck on your journeys.
Thank you. And you, please stay safe.
And do feel free to come back and talk, should you need to.
Oh, I think we definitely will.
Looking over all of you quite purposefully.
Just a head nod from Sasha.
And he just lets himself into Lermy's house. Lermy! Sorry to bother you, old chap, but we need to get these fellas back to Kantisha. And he sort of wanders in. Oh, he was sat in the lounge reading. Yes, of course. No bother, I hope everything has gone okay. Oh, yes, all fine. We'll keep an eye on it for now, but I'm sure Leskilith will do well. Oh, Leskilith one, did he? And they proceed to just have this conversation. And updating. We can talk about... We need...
Make the DM talk awkwardly to themselves.
Yeah. Always the fun part.
No one made me. I was just rolling with it. But yes, I can update you. We just need to get this group back to. Oh yes, of course. Give me a minute, and I'll.
Are we definitely sure it's safe going back to Kantishi? The last we were there, the giants told me that that thing was on its way to and for Amarius.
Well,
But I thought you did a spell.
Yes, I said it would potentially help us, but it may not be.
Well, yes, but we do need to find. And we need to get to Kantichi to use the teleportation to get to where we're going.
We won't stay there any longer than we have to.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, it would be nice to perhaps catch up with Severil.
I need to make a short to the market to get some materials. I've worked out what is wrong with these braces that Ember gave us, and I need some material to renew the connection on an arcane level, which will make them work the way that they're supposed to.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
If everyone's just very quick, I think we'll be alright. Like, really quick.
Of course.
So, Kantichi or
Yes, please.
somewhere else?
Kantichi would
Yes.
be best.
He
Oops.
gets to work and smashes his microphone. And yeah, a minute later, it lights up.
Step in.
Step in.
So you arrive back at the hub in Kantichi.
I'll probably say, if you've got an hour, I will stay here.
Okay. I assume, are we back at our house, or do we go to the university?
You've gone to the regular hub that
Right,
you'd
okay.
normally end up at.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so I will go and find names are not my thing today, apparently.
Lucrezia?
Yeah, I'm going to find Lucrezia and ask her what her favourite dessert is.
Oh, that's Jack.
Ah, Lucrezia,
I'll probably go with Mazdak.
we must talk about desserts, I think.
I do wish you'd bring me some custard one day.
I do keep meaning to. I do keep forgetting, though. It's very difficult when you're not passing custard shops. You know, it's very difficult.
Do you like custard then, Lucrezia?
Ah, Lucrezia,
Come in, shut the door.
yes.
Shut
So,
that door.
Shut that door.
So, there is a possibility that, well, there's more than a possibility, Thaddeus, that there is a person who could, impersonate anybody else. We've had it happen to us several times, so we have a password situation. We talk about desserts, and custard is the password.
Ah,
Currently.
We should change it at some point.
We should, indeed.
Just in
Indeed. But custard, I think, would be fine for now. We've had a quick chat with SETI, witnessed a really exciting takeover of a new town, dragon taking over a new town. There was a battle of, I think, 7 dragons, and the large blue dragon Leskillith won, and he is now the ruler of the town that used to be called Contarara. So that was absolutely fantastic to watch. Really very
That's
exciting.
amazing.
I have detailed it down in a sort of way in my book.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? When you're done with your adventures, Master, I'd love to read your book.
Absolutely. I will be writing several different books. One's on the magic that I've learned, and one's on travel. And yes, I think I can. Yes, when I've finished sorting out all of this time stuff, I will definitely sit down and write some books. Absolutely. So, I think we wanted to see, is Severil around at all, or has he vanished again?
After what I told you happened, he walked out, but I don't think I think he's still in town.
Right. Okay.
So if you want me to try and track him down for you,
Yeah, we just had some questions on Voyavikia and the
Oh.
island of Hunomo.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Well, I think it's where we need to go next.
Well, okay. Rather you than me. I'll read about it when you publish your book.
Indeed. And can I know I haven't got it yet, but I will expend a spell slot to cast the bubble spell. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right. This is a
Did you
spell.
just cast dragon magic?
I did, yes. SETI taught me it.
Oh,
It's good, isn't it? It means basically we are in a shielded bubble that nobody can pry into or hear what we're discussing. So there's been a worrying development, and the development is that Contarara, she tried to teleport whilst there was a rift
yeah.
and vanished. Now, what is your understanding of the current pantheon of the gods?
There are 10 gods, and
Right.
there's Dusk, and the 3 under, and this is all common knowledge, Master.
Yes, it is. It is now. But about 2 weeks ago, there were only 9 gods. Dusk is Contarara. we think.
What?
Yes, I know it's very difficult and to understand, and it jibes incorrectly with your memory, which has been tampered with. She has set herself up as the ruler, the leader of the gods, as it were. But we know for a fact that it was Vastro that, from our conversation last time when we were back, Vastro that is in fact lead the other colleagues of his into the realm where the gods, the original gods were, and took over, as it were. Now it seems that using teleportation magic whilst that rift was going allowed Contarara to teleport herself back to a position where she could do this instead of Vastro.
But I remember you telling me all about that, with Jakarta telling you about Vastro and his friends,
Yes.
and there was Vastro and there were 9 others.
No,
You told me.
no, I didn't. And I will open my book to where I have recorded this. Has my book been tampered with?
Your book has not.
Okay, so I will open my book at a relevant page talking about Vastro and the gods and how they went back in time. Or how they changed plane. Look, this is the facts that I wrote down.
Well, no. She sort of goes through various stages of belief and disbelief as she's reading these notes. No, yeah, that's it. You Vastro led 9 of them. That is what you said. Why did I think otherwise?
I know. It's Contarara, or Desk, as she's called herself, has
Shit.
changed the timeline. And in doing so, more and more people are believing this to be the facts. Because, in essence, they are now. But,
So there were 9 gods.
Yes.
And you pissed off Contarara and she flew across the world to fight you. But you were winning that fight, so she tried to teleport
correct.
back home, but that caused her to travel back in time where she
We're
used
surmising to a point where she could either hitch along a ride with Vastro, or she was teleported directly to that plane in the past before they got there. We don't know for certain which of these two is correct, but this is true. Now, she is systematically ridding the world of evidence to the contrary. Contarara country. Haha. Good one.
Ferrari.
Contrarily. Haha. Sorry, just a joke. So
That deserves an inspiration point.
no, it was terrible. So we think that she's systematically removing evidence from the world. Now, Seti has some evidence and is of the opinion, as are we, that this has happened. And hence the bubble, so that nobody can hear us discussing this. So, if you're going to discuss this with anyone else, you must make sure that you are in a safe environment, because I suspect that if she finds out that you know, she will indeed be very wrathful, as she has known to be in the past.
We also need to make sure that anybody we do attempt to talk to is not an avid follower of Dask either.
Indeed.
Because their memory would be harder to revert back as such.
Yeah. I think the way it felt to me was, I don't know, what you, like, I knew what I knew, and that was the truth. But as soon as you start to actually, provide evidence, it just sort of fell away. Like I knew it was never true. So I don't know if that will work with others. Whether
I mean, it could do.
just telling people the truth will sort of dispel the.
I mean, it could, but it does place them in danger because the more people talk about it, the more angry Dask or Contarara will get.
Yeah.
And if they are a follower of them, it would make it more obvious to Dask that if they then don't believe in them, their power would wane somewhat.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, this is a very tricky situation to be in, and I apologise for putting you in it. But I thought it was important that somebody needed to know, so that if something does happen to us, you know this fact. And what I will do is I will summon my quill, and do you have any parchment?
Of course.
And I will
just like raises a hat, some paper falls into it.
Perfect. And I will get the quill to copy from my book the facts that I've just shown her. And I will give it to her and say, this is the copy of what was in my book that you just read.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's because you know me already, you know me to be truthful, that you were able to suspend your belief in the false narrative to have this fact assist you.
Yeah.
So it may well be, if I show somebody that I don't know or doesn't know me, it may not work. It might just be laughed off as heresy.
Yeah.
Or worse,
Yes,
they
I
could
don't-
actually stab me.
Yes, I don't think it's actual magic what they've used to implant these memories. It's basically she has altered history, changed the course of it.
So in a way, it is fact. It's
Yes,
not.
it is true.
It's not hazard. Yeah.
It is true, but a couple of weeks ago, in our timeline, it wasn't true.
But the time it's taken for this to happen, I believe that Contarara went back way before
Yes.
Vastro, and so is implanted themselves in Vastro's group and became head honcho and taken over it that way. Because it's taken so long since, from what I understand, Contarara going back and it happening.
I actually just to come out of that, the actual sort of timeline from Contarara teleporting and disappearing, it was only like another day before you were back in Cantici and heading off to Bervia.
Yeah.
So, like, it might have happened the moment she went back, but you just didn't notice because you were off.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I thought, not knowing their direct timelines, I thought they'd fought Contarara quite a while ago.
No. Yeah, I mean,
it does seem like that, but no.
It does seem a long time ago. But we've also had a break. We took a break after that for a few months. So in real life timelines, it does feel like a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But anyway, yeah. So, okay, I'll keep these notes.
And if you have a way of doing something similar to this, you could by all means tell the council. If
I'm
trust
just
them.
sit on it for now. I'm not going to tell anyone. Because if I don't say anything outside of a bubble, then no one suspects me of knowing anything. And I'll be safe, and these real notes won't be doctored.
Yes.
So,
sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, whilst we're still in the bubble as well, do we potentially have any, or do you have any information on who this mystery person could be who can impersonate?
No, we don't know yet.
No. I think it's been a while since you've seen them as well, isn't it,
Yes,
Fast Track?
quite a long time. We're not
Probably
entirely
even
sure
more
who it
reason not
was.
to tell anyone.
Yes.
Did we come to the conclusion that it was somebody on the slightly smaller size because it was
Yeah.
only so much difference in height that they
Yeah.
could do?
That's right. Yeah, well, at some point, Thaddeus, they've sort of, I don't know, Master, I don't know if you filled them in, but on your dealings with the imposter.
No.
But they
I
seem to
can
try
do.
and start a war at some point between wizards and
Dragons,
dragons,
yes.
which would be very bad.
Yes, we managed to deflect that. They also were involved in one of the very first time rifts that we investigated
Mm.
by killing or certainly knocking out the original investigator that was there and impersonating him and interacting with us whilst we were investigating the strange anomaly that we could go through a rift, but we couldn't affect anything. So it was most bizarre.
That's true. You went through a rift and weren't able to change anything.
Indeed. So how has Contarara done it?
Potentially the teleportation spell has
Well,
worked in with the rifts.
possibly. But this is all the more reason why we need to get into that other plane to find out what's going on.
Okay.
But to do that, we have to collect the pieces of the key.
To do that, you need to go to Hanumo Island.
Indeed, we do.
Well, okay. Okay. Well, I'll make sure this is tucked away, and she sort of sticks it in a drawer and just gives it a little magical lock. I'll keep that safe. I'll keep this safe too.
Yes, good plan. Good plan.
And I won't do anything with the information unless instructed to by you, or if I find out you're not coming back.
Yes, indeed.
You as a group, not just the two
Oh,
of you.
definitely. So, if yeah, I will definitely. What level does that spell, by the way, Martin?
I'll figure it out.
Okay, I just wanted to take the spell slot off, but we're going for a rest soon anyway, so
Yeah.
it should be all right. Okay.
Right. I'll try and get a hold of several.
Yes, we'll be at the house this evening.
I'll
He's
see if I
welcome.
can.
He's welcome to come and see us there.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And I will drop the spell. It is quite exciting
Well-
doing dragon magic.
Is it 10 minutes, an hour, 8 hours? That bubble?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Oh.
Hell of a spell. First level as well, so I can cast it like loads.
It's a cantrip.
As a cantrip at will, whenever I want.
Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. Speak to you soon.
Okay, good. And we will disappear. Well, I shall go back to the house, and I'm going to sit in my room and make copies of the notes that I have on that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hide at least 2 of them in my room, and then I'm going to hide 1 in every other room in the house.
Fair enough.
And I may actually, yeah, I will give a copy to Kral, and a copy to Bernia, and a copy to Thaddeus. And after I've done that, I will fill Thaddeus in about our earlier adventures.
Good.
Once upon a time.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Now, when Vinny's got questions, it's because
He's forgotten.
the character. Yeah.
character.
No, it's because he, the player, doesn't actually know, and we can fill him in at that point.
Yeah.
But the character at least would be aware of these things.
Yeah.
Okay, so Imaris, you'd originally said you were gonna wait an hour, or people have got an hour in the.
Yep. I'll be
You were gonna
pacing
stay
around.
at the station.
Yeah, so wherever we can, did we port back to the house?
No, we ported back to the university.
Okay, I will just be there pacing up and down.
Yeah, I'd
Waiting
forgotten
for
you
him to
said
come
that.
back.
Yeah. I was after you said that. I was then going to go sort of like, Mazdak, I think we need to get back to the university.
Oh.
Amaris was waiting there for us.
Oh, of course, yes.
I think
but
he's
several.
more worried about it.
But we were coming to sleep here, were we not? And go in the morning. I thought that was the plan.
I'm not sure. It just depends how much time we think we've got.
Well, okay.
There's
Right,
no way I can track what's after Amarius. I don't want to say their name because some magics can
Oh, yes, quite.
use that. But yes, it's the storm giants. It only took them mere minutes to get us over to Kantichi, didn't it, from the mountain, and a big fire elemental. Depending on how they're travelling, could be exactly the same.
Yes, I did just ask that several contact us here. So
I'll go and get Amarius in and bring him
Okay.
back, and we can then decide if we stay the night or
yes, I
move
think
and
we
then
asked the entire group what's going on.
yes. So yes, stay safe, and we'll be back soon.
Sure.
And I'll head off to the university again, just to go and find Amarius.
Okay.
So I'll be pacing up and down in front of it. And then if I see Thaddeus, I'll stop pacing and look very cool.
Nonchalant.
I probably would. Well, I definitely would notice that. Amarius.
Yes, you took your time, didn't you?
Yes. We met Lucrezia. We just need to head back to the house. Several's going to meet Mazdak there and us there.
Okay, and then what? We're going after that?
Depends what the group is doing, but I think it's best if we do. But
Well, okay, very well. What, should I go back to the house then?
yes, let's walk back together, and
We don't have to talk, we can just walk.
we could do. But I mean, if I have any questions to ask or anything to tell you, I will.
Feel free to keep them to yourself.
Yeah, and the topography DM of Kantichi, where we are we lower than like the mountains we were in for the fire giants, or is it kind of like the same, similar?
Are you at a lower elevation than mountains?
I know it's, but as in,
Sounds like a
I know
Shakira.
how that question asked, but you know what I mean. So obviously mountains are going to be high, but the actual like where Kantichi is that like at a high elevation too? So we're kind of like a similar level plane, or is it?
Well, Kantichi is a city by the sea, so it's not particularly high elevation.
Okay, I probably should have looked at the map really before asking that question. It sounded like I'm completely like a fucking idiot. But if that's the case, can I look over to the direction of where we were for the fire giants at the mountains and see if there was like any estranged movements or anything going on?
I mean, that's a long way away, Vinny.
You can't. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we flew, didn't we?
We used
we
teleport
teleported.
circle
I mean,
that from
you've
Vernia.
got the map. You've got access to the map now.
Yeah, good point.
You know where Canticia is. You know where Bervia is.
It's like the other end of the continent.
We're half a continent away.
Ah, yes. Ignore me. I'll go and get my coat.
It's like somebody in Sweden going, "What's it like in Spain today?"
I'll Yeah, thanks all. Good night. And next week. My brain was running away with me.
Doing pillar of fire heading our direction, I think.
Since getting back to Canticia, you haven't been able to see anything coming from that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think just to give Finney's brain a few minutes to chill out,
Yeah.
we'll take a quick break.
It wasn't. I wasn't computing for some reason because it took us minutes from the fire giants to take us from the mountains to Canticia. For some reason, my
Yeah, but they
brain
didn't. They
didn't
took
think
us
to look at the map.
from the mountain to Bervia, the capital city, and we then teleported from there.
Oh, they
to
did, didn't
Canticia.
they? See, I forgot. Viddy's brain forgot about that.
Indeed. But anyway, let's have a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. I'll leave the DM to explain all.
Okay, so Thaddeus had gone to get Imarius, and Mazdak was waiting at the house. What the other four been doing?
I would have gone to get the materials for the gloves.
Okay. So you probably know the first place for sort of rare materials. Just go to the smiths, see if they've got anything.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take the braces and show them the piece that you need?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take the braces in and I'll explain exactly what I need, the specifications, and sort of show them where it's worn out and point it out to them. Obviously, they would know being smiths and being also being the arcane nature of things.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I see. You just need to think I've got a bit of that, actually. Give me a sec. She brushes off at the back and comes out with this little gem, little orange, sort of smooth stone gem, slightly transparent. Yeah, I think if you can refine that down and get that to the shape that you need, then that should do the trick. Yeah.
Right.
That's
really
quite interesting. And she starts looking more at the brisk. It's really interesting to see that. Where did you get these?
well. They were gifted to us by some fire giants.
Oh.
Because we and he just trails off and sort of just pays for the materials.
Right. Yeah, that's at 75 gold for that. She also sort of looks like she wants to say something about the fire giants, but just doesn't.
Yeah, and so Kral's got sort of a very mixture between sort of like very blank but also pained at the same time.
Yeah. Right. Well, good luck. I hope you can get that sorted.
Thank you very much for your help. I'll
Thank you very much.
I'll pop back and let you know how I get on with the repairs. Maybe might be able to demonstrate for you if I can get it right.
I'd love to see it if you get it working. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, and I'll enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. See you soon. Bye.
And he's sort of just going to pocket everything and just start sort of figuring out how he can refine it down. What he's whether he needs to get anything else in for the workshop, or whether he should have everything he needs.
Did anyone leave some enchantment work going on at the smithy?
Yes.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to take longer.
Yeah, I think it was going to take
So
longer.
that's-
I think I had 4 days.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you've not had that yet. Okay, so Bernia, Samuel, Sasha, what were you doing?
Reading.
Just
Must read.
kind of marveling at the fact that Sasha has been quietly reading for most of the day. Kind of just looking.
I will be playing to my strengths. That is, I have nothing to do. So I'm going to be popping around people to the point of pissing them off, that so they, get to the point of they're not quite screaming, but they're telling me through gritted teeth, piss off already. And they'll go on to the next person, just keep doing that.
Where are you doing this? Just in the town? In the city?
Yeah, just like following people around. And like then just wandering until, I find the next person because I don't have anything better to do.
Okay. You can certainly cause be a nuisance for some random people for a while. But by the time that Thaddeus and Marius get back to the house, you can group everyone back up there.
How long has it been since I cast non-detection on Marius?
So that was like maybe 5 hours.
Okay. So coming up to basically before we go to sleep or whatever we do, I'd have to cast that again.
Yeah.
Cool.
So with everyone back at the house, is anyone talking before I continue?
No, I'd head straight to the workshop to start work on and get as much done on these gloves as possible.
Yeah, literally, Mazdak will be handing out pieces of parchment to everybody that comes through the door, saying, "This is important. This is what happens, just in case we need to remember or refresh our minds.
I see.
I've made these
I see.
copies, so everyone should have one."
Have you sent message to Severin?
Yes, Lucrezia is contacting Several and has told him that we are here. I have also informed Lucrezia of this. Don't worry, I
see.
used the bubble spell.
Good to know.
So just in case we don't come back, she has the information and can go to the council.
So, as it gets to the, well, it's kind of late evening now at this point, there is a knock at the door.
I will answer.
Before you stands an elderly elf.
Deverell?
Yeah.
Oh. Deverell,
Good evening.
come in.
Wanders in.
Ah, Several. What? It's a little late for visitors. Perhaps some sort of pudding?
What are you talking about?
I can't remember if we actually.
I
did
don't
this with
think
Several.
we did.
No.
Okay.
Nasty.
Oh,
Go
right.
on.
Sorry. Lost my brain for a moment.
You're not the only one tonight.
No.
I was asked to come and pay you a visit, but I didn't realise I was expected to bring dessert.
No, it's fine.
It
No
is
crime.
fine.
So, we're going to the island of Hunumo.
Nabumbu?
So
No.
we were just wondering if you had any kind of information you could give to us before we go there, as to how to get in contact with the drow, etc.
Now, why on earth would you go there?
Well, we believe that there is someone there we need to speak to.
Did several know about our plans to go to speak with Jakoto? I don't
don't know.
remember if he. I don't remember if he
think
does.
did.
He was the one who told you about the three immortals.
Yeah. We're
I
Yeah,
don't
he
think he specifically said you were going to go and see them, but he certainly gave you that information.
he suggested that we look up the three immortals and
Yeah.
suggested that Jakoto may be the easiest of the three to find to begin with.
We are
can't remember
continuing our
if
search.
if we've informed him that we found Jakoto. I don't think we have.
No, I don't think we have.
I have not met several
This is true.
since being with you.
Oh,
I'm
This
not
is
sure
Thaddeus.
Self-
He is,
yeah,
No.
That's true. You last spoke with Severil at Harthome Manor.
Yes.
Did I get that right? Yeah. What's your surname?
Hartwood.
Artwood.
Hartwood. Sorry, yeah, Hartwood Manor.
It's literally my name on the Discord. It says Sasha Hartwood.
That requires me looking at things, though.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Well,
Oh.
yeah. Start as I go on.
So,
Several.
yes. Sorry.
These are Salviel, Knight of Liasol, and Thaddeus, follower of Ursith.
Follower of Tursith.
Nice to meet you, Thaddeus. Thaddeus Morbane.
No, my name is Severil. No surname.
So, we,
Well, several no surname.
have tracked down, spoken to, had a conversation with Jakoto.
Interesting.
Indeed, interesting, and she told us many interesting things. So we thought we'd try and track down Renee next, the Queen of the Aberrant.
Mm.
So I would imagine that she's probably tucked away
You
somewhere
think
with
she's
the.
on Numo Island?
That would certainly be the most logical place.
She is an immortal of Unuma on an island. Wasn't it said that? Yeah, on an island full of aberrant creatures.
Yes. Well, I've never been there.
Right.
No one has really.
Do you know anything about it at all, that other than what we've managed to find out through research? Or
It is known to be a barren waste where strange creatures roam the land, eating mostly each other, and the occasional dark elf that happens upon the surface.
right, so probably best
No,
to get under the surface
the
as soon as possible.
trust. Well, the elves there are not friendly creatures, not like the rest of us.
Oh, I'm sure if we just, have a chat with them, everything will be fine.
Violekia is already quite isolated. The Dark Elves would be even more so, I suppose.
Yes. The isolationism of the elves has caused many internal problems over the years, and naturally is why I left. What do you know of?
Bernie just kind of slightly moves her head in a way that makes her pointed ears just shift.
What do you know of elven culture?
Unfortunately, very little.
Yes.
My father left long before I got to learn from him.
Yes. He peers round and looks at your ears and so. What was it you just said, Debbie?
I said as little as possible.
Yeah, two half elves resentful of full elves.
Well, we don't talk about it often, even those of us that leave, but in order to understand the Dark Elves, it may be worth you knowing. Elves have an unlimited lifespan, naturally. But we still procreate as everybody else does, which leads to population issues and resource issues. This is a problem that has gone back thousands of years among my people. I myself am over 1,000 years old.
And how many children have you produced?
Only 2 that I know of.
These two.
We know of one of them. Her
Yeah, I know.
name
I was joking.
was.
Well,
But
one
would
of
it
them
be
you
a-
might not know of.
Where?
It would have been a horrible coincidence if it had turned out to be the two of us, though. And would have gone south very, very quickly.
Oh,
Nuala. Is the name you're looking for.
Nuala.
Wow.
Why can't I find her notes in here? That's annoying. Oh no, there we go. Nuala. And if I remember
So-
rightly, I see. Yeah.
Long ago, a rule was established that if you wanted to bear children, the moment they were born, the moment, I should say, your second is born, it sets a clock, and you have 20 years with those children. And then you go through let's not beat around the bush, you go around a suicide ceremony. You raise children to a point and then sacrifice yourself so that they can have a place in society.
Let's see.
Some are not happy with that. Some want to live longer, as I did. So I left. And I went to Kantichi to learn more magic, and there are others that do the same. Now, the elves that live on the island now known as Hanumo Island were an organized uprising of elves thousands of years ago that wanted to end this tradition because they wanted to live longer, but they did not want to leave. But the rebellion was quashed and they were outcast to the island upon which they now reside. It was expected they would not survive, that simply sending them to their death was any more merciful than killing them ourselves. But they did survive, and they went underground in order to avoid those creatures that roam the surface. So the elves you may meet there could be tens of thousands of years old. And who knows what there will be like. Whether they would be welcoming or not.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Imagine what fantastical libraries they will have.
Knowledge may be something they have. But I would also suspect it would be limited to themselves.
Well, I mean, I'll look across at Thaddeus. It'll be fascinating to learn.
Definitely.
But still, we should be as prepared as possible for when we go. So, would there be any particular aspects of elven culture we should avoid?
With the Dark Elves, I wouldn't know.
Right.
Just trying to think.
I mean, maybe don't mention the Sun Dwellers or something. Maybe they
Yes.
will find that offensive.
I had another question, actually. Do you know if the aberrations were there? You say they were there before the Dark Elves got there. Do you know how long before they were there? Have they always been there, or is this?
As far as my history is aware, they have always.
Suggesting that perhaps Renee, the Queen of the Aberrant, has always lived there.
Maybe.
It may indeed be
So,
topside as well.
may indeed not be underground.
Hmm.
Interesting.
If she is, as her name suggests, Queen of the Aberrant, I suspect she may have power over those on the surface.
Quite.
Yes. She may not be as amenable to, as I say, to conversation as Jacoto was.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be fine.
Just trying to remember TM. Our half elves looked kind of down upon in Voyavikia. So I know from my backstory it was a case of I couldn't really get into there, and Kantichi was kind of my second best option.
Yeah. They're not fond of, because that implies people like Severil who just threw away their traditions to leave the country, and they're not fondly looked upon themselves. So, yeah.
At least have the grace with the Dark Elves that if they disliked the traditions, they may look more favorably upon myself and Salviel.
Perhaps.
Right. Thank you, Several. That is most useful information. I know you probably don't think so, but it is useful information. It gives us an idea of what to expect when we get there, and perhaps, yes, an idea of where to find Renee.
Yes. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. And I'll sort of. Mastak will just sort of start rambling about dragons and the ceremony that we saw, and just drop into conversation as he's doing it. Oh, and obviously, Stanyard would have been happy to see this, of course, and see if I get any reaction from him whatsoever.
Make an insight check.
Okay, insight check. Here we go. $24.
There's a flinch at the mention of Stanyard.
Okay.
Just for Fiddy's memory here, Seville was the one who created the time rifts.
Yes. Well,
He was responsible for them. He created the
huge pearl
the spell pearl that kind of kick-started it all
blew it up.
on the battlefield between Valaya and Sandemia.
Yeah.
Which is why Bernia's a little bit frosty towards. Not the only reason, but it's definitely one of them.
Yeah, and I'll tell him obviously about Jacoto and all that sort of stuff, and say we haven't had time to report into Grandmaster Stanyard yet. Perhaps if you see him, you could have a quick update, as we will be going obviously to Hunomo Island.
Stanyard and I aren't on speaking terms currently.
Oh, why ever not?
Lazak,
Yes.
your spellbook.
Yes.
could you go and put it somewhere away from this conversation? Go and put it in your room. Lock it in a safe. Hide it in a pocket dimension.
Certainly, and I will go to my room, take out my book, and try to put it on the table. I will. Yeah, I will put it in a safe location amongst the other books on the bookshelf. I'm feeling a bit weird. I'll walk out, close the door. Okay.
Well,
I have done this. Why should I do that?
interesting. Your reluctance to do so is part of the reason.
But it's my book.
But the fact that you succeeded suggests I can trust you with this.
Okay.
What is going on? Speak plainly.
There is an entity with its tendrils throughout the wizarding world.
Okay.
This is why Stanyard and I are not talking currently.
And what has that got to do with my book?
You're smart. You can figure that part out.
But my book is just my book. Before I got to the university, I was talking to name. Nimrillin. And she gave it to me. It says as a present to get me started. This is.
And I'm sure there are hundreds of wizards with stories just like that.
Actually, there was a young wizard at the bar that night who was talking about that sort of thing. But she's obviously, to be fair, I've not actually seen her in the university, so I keep meaning to ask someone about that, actually.
Are you saying that there is something wrong with Mazdak's spellbook?
Well, I was doing some rather in-depth research until some unknown group of people got my laboratory shut down. And I can no longer access it. But yes, I think that many people over many years have been granted some sort of access to magic, or the library, or the university, and have in turn become beholden to a singular creature.
I mean, but she's never asked me for anything. In fact, I haven't seen her apart from that night.
But you've spoken to them.
Well,
But what if, Mazdak, maybe you haven't been asked for anything in particular, but what if someone just in your position made it all the way to the top of the wizards and sat on a council?
So you're saying that Stanyard knows
I
him
don't
as well?
know. I don't know.
But why did you suspect him?
I tried to talk to him about it and he shut me down. He did not want to talk about it.
Ah, right. Okay. So
he thinks it's nonsense, but Is it possible there's just one of the 6 council members? Or more?
Do you have a book given to you by Nimberlin?
No.
Interesting.
Elves coming out of Voyavikia at over 1,000 years old don't really need a leg up, magically.
That's true. That is very true.
Did Noala?
No. Noala was taught by me.
There's a lot going on.
Just be careful around wizards.
Always careful around wizards.
But wizards are good. We research and we do important work to improve the lot of the
Wizard
world.
is no different in goodness to any person.
Well, I mean, obviously there are exceptions. For present company, research gone slightly wrong.
It may not even be about doing bad things or good things. It may be just about the power and the ability to control things. Who knows?
Just because you can do something doesn't always mean that you should.
What's the worst that can happen? Blow up a mountain.
Yes, quite. Or an entire country.
Insert aggressive page turn here.
Or create a spell pearl so large that it causes a time rift to appear.
Yes. We all know my hands aren't clean.
A lot of people desire power. It seems that the current happenings seem to be just making it faster. They are scrabbling. Mazdak.
Yes.
Yes?
I'm gonna go up to Mazdak and whisper. Perhaps several of dusk.
Right. I see. Well, I will of course need my book if I am to protect you with my magic. But if my book is making me compromised, which I don't think it is, then perhaps I shouldn't take it. But if I don't take it, then I have less access to magic.
I have somewhere you could store it.
Absolutely not.
No.
I think I want that book even less in your hands than anybody else's.
Nobody is to take my book.
Like I said, I don't even know what this thing wants. Ultimately.
And I've never researched her. That's odd.
It's
I
very
research
odd.
everything.
Yes.
Why have I never researched her?
It's like a blank spot for you, isn't it?
This is very strange.
Perhaps Kral could have a look at your book.
No,
With you there, of course.
absolutely not.
Mazdak, why are you so protective of your book?
It's my book.
But why? It is a
I-
spell book. It
I have
just
a
holds
thought.
spells, does it not?
Look, my spellbook, my book, I can... Well, I can ask things of it and receive answers.
And that's not suspicious to you?
Absolutely not. It's magic.
We just looked to Severill for his reaction to that?
He's not surprised. He's very plainly like sort of nodding along with a look of like pre-knowledge as
Do you
Mazdak
know-
speaks.
Do you know who was answering these questions, Mazdak?
Well, I'm presuming it's Nimril. Nimrilin, sorry.
Person who just gave you a book.
I asked, for an example, Actually, I know, that's not true. I'm just trying to...
You've broken me, DM. My brain has gone into a mush after all of that reveal.
There's like
And
it feels like there's like 8 different people making a power play from all of this
Yeah.
time rift shenanigans, and I have no idea who's who.
I
Crazy.
promise you, at some point, I will stop adding layers to this.
So,
Don't
Peeling
Nice.
the onion.
we don't believe you.
Absolutely not.
At some point, we're going to accidentally stumble on the middle of it, and then it will just explode and come crashing down on us.
You see, I got told in my book to speak to Jakoto long before we even met Severus. Are you saying that's a bad thing?
Well, I don't know. I'm not saying any of it is necessarily a bad thing. I'm saying somebody, something is pulling strings,
Well,
and we don't know what for.
I
I've
know.
heard of
I know how to solve this.
I've
Hello.
heard before of certain people being overly protective over certain items due to a curse of some kind. Is that what could be possibly happening?
I don't think this is a curse as such.
I'm
I've
gonna,
heard
go,
of
Session.
gonna go get my book.
Sounds
Praying.
It sounds like a bond.
It's an agreement,
Yes.
and
For some reason, makes me think of
like a pact.
Amarius and his ring.
I will walk to my room, get my book, and I will write a question in my book.
okay.
I'm going to write. What should I write?
Do you want to type it to me, or are you going to say it to the group?
I think he's typing it.
I'm going to write. Do you mean the Wizards of Cantisha any harm? And I will show them I've written that. This is a question I'm writing in my book. This is how to solve this. It's simple. And I will turn it back round so only I can see it.
Okay. I will send you a response.
Perfect. I say, it doesn't always come straight away. Sometimes you have to wait for a minute or two. It's not...
Sometimes you have to wait for the DM to formulate.
Yep. The DM has to think of an answer and then write it down, or I have to read it. So I don't see that this is a. I mean, why would anybody?
Mazdak,
Yep.
if you found a, say, a magical bowl
Yes.
that you could speak a question into, and it would give you an answer to that question, would you trust it implicitly?
Well, I mean, it depends on the circumstances in which you found the bowl. I guess.
Say a stranger gave it to you.
Well, again, it depends on the circumstances. Obviously, I would identify the bowl first, figure out what it was, and if it's a magical bowl of question answering, then why not?
Did you
Have
do
you
that
done
on
it
the book?
Of course not. I don't think so. Did I do that?
How is it
No.
any different?
Look, and I'll pick up my book. And go, well, the answer is I want the wizards to thrive. And I'll turn it around so everybody can see it, and then it fades into the.
You can see Mazdak's ink that he put down asking a question has just reformed into different letters before it fades away.
You see? So it can't be bad, really, can it?
And just for clarification, the book is just your spell book, or you also put your notes in there as well?
Oh, my notes are in my notebooks. This is my book.
Yes, because people with bad intentions never lie, do they?
Are you saying I've got bad intentions?
You
Saying that the
not.
whoever is answering your questions.
Oh. Listen, whoever is answering the questions, if it is Nimrinen, which I suspect it might be, has only always given me good advice. I was told to look up, and that saved our lives. I'm sure you remember it. I can't
I'm
remember
just
the exact-
concerned that when you thrive on having knowledge in all things, the one thing that you rely upon the most you know very little about.
Well, it's quite simple. It's my book. Oh, very well. If you insist, I will cast Identify on my book.
Okay. As a spell, not ritually.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a feat that means I can do ritual spells as instant cast. So yeah.
Aren't you biased? Maybe Thaddeus should do it.
I think we need Kral to do that.
I can. I do have it prepared.
Oh, cool.
Okay, well, we'll both do it and see what happens. And I'll
Yeah.
instantly cast.
I have to do it as normal though, so mine would be. Well,
You should be able to cast it as a spell.
yeah,
It takes a slot.
Yeah, casting it as a spell
Oh, yeah,
takes
yeah.
a minute, I think.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do the same for casting it as a spell.
Just looking up stuff.
We have done something the DM didn't expect.
So, well, I'll give you a peek behind that screen when we finish the session.
Okay.
I've just got a faith check come through from you, Bernia, of 15.
Oh, that was the one I rolled earlier.
That was like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Good old
Beyond
D&D.
being a bit weird. Really?
Tell me much, but it's complicated. Both of you sort of pick up wisps of different kinds of arcane energy from it, but if you've ever identified a wizard's spellbook before, you decide if you have or not. It's a spellbook.
Probably have. See? Just a spell book. With an
Nothing else.
extra
So
question and answer. I can only do it once a day. I've tried doing it multiple times and I only ever get one answer. I don't ask
Yes.
anything very often. Only if it's really important. But listen, it's a magical tool that allows me to make informed decisions.
I mean, I can confirm it. It is just a spell book,
Mazdak,
and nothing else is picked up from that. Like, as in, it literally is just the identify comes back as a spell book. It's not like there is like this warding bond or whatever placed on it as well. Or
No.
Mazdak, we trust you. There's just so many beings out there trying to put their proverbial foot in the way of everything that we're trying to do, that we're just being cautious.
That's
Well-
understandable.
What is the person who's controlling the book getting out of you? There's always a other side to a deal.
Well, she just assisted me in getting access to the library.
What
Yeah,
do
but what
you
does
get
she-
from yours, Marius?
That's between me and whoever I'm in league with at the time. I'm asking.
So you're expecting answers from Mazdak, but won't give us answers in return.
I think the situation with Mazdak is a bit more pressing.
I don't
Then.
think so somehow, considering the last one you pissed off is currently heading towards us to try and kill you.
Well, that was Kral who blew up the mountain, as we've established many times.
You can claim that as much as you like, but you are still responsible in my eyes.
Anyway, Mazdak,
Yes,
what are they getting out of you?
nothing. I have not been asked for anything.
That is even worse.
How?
That you are in this arrangement and you do not know what they are taking.
There is no arrangement.
There's always an arrangement.
Listen, I'm a wizard.
No one does anything for free.
I was very poor.
No.
I had no money. I couldn't afford to get into the library. And now I can.
It could
Simple,
very well be
simple.
that this entity, whatever it is, just seeks any new information like Mazdak.
Well, perhaps this entity, as you call her, she was a very nice lady, just was being charitable, and out of the goodness of her heart gave me access to the library. Why does it have to be evil or bad? Or why do they have to want something? People do
No.
things for charitable reasons, you know.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. We saved you. We found you. We went.
And I am
mis-
helping you in return.
Yeah, but we didn't ask for you to do that. You don't have to.
But I am.
I know that out of the goodness of your heart. See?
Yeah.
Also, Thaddeus. We rescued you out of the goodness of our hearts. We didn't expect you to do anything in return.
Oh no, I didn't have to stay. It's
Exactly.
quite right.
So,
Some of us in this group do have compassion, Marius.
but this talk of wanting something in return is why? It doesn't have
is
to be
Seville
like
a
that.
wizard? Is Seville a wizard, by the way, just for my...
Several,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was one of the Grand Masters.
So, Seville, you're... I'm assuming you have a book similar to Mazdak's.
I have a book.
Can you write a question in yours once a day and get a reply?
I've never tried. Nobody's ever tried to communicate with me through my book.
Well, you have communicated with me through my book.
Yes.
So, is the person behind the book you? Because you wrote in my book that I had to go. That there was a cleric of Tursith needing to be rescued.
And on that occasion, I signed my name.
You
didn't
did,
I?
yes.
But nobody's ever signed their name before, I assume.
Perhaps you just made a mistake.
Hmm.
So,
I don't. I don't think. For the record, I don't think it's you, Several.
is there any chance we can test that theory out, Seville, to see if yours does reply back to you?
I've tried. When I started looking into this, that was, of course, the first thing I tried. But the creature is not, the entity, whatever it is not bonded to me in any way. There needs to have been an inciting incident to form that connection, like somebody being given access to a library, getting something that they want.
I
And
don't
weird.
know a lot about wizards, but I know that there are certain specializations that
Yes.
ones can go down. Could it just be that the type of magic Mazdak follows allows this somehow? I like I say, I don't know much.
No, that is a fair question from a layman's perspective.
Well,
I have found no correlation in that.
I don't follow a particular school of magic type. I am magically as I'm kind of there's magical orders. The order of the scribes is the one that I aspire to. I wish to research. I wish to write things down. I wish to gain knowledge. That's what I'm doing. That's what I like to do. And I'll sort of pull a couple of notebooks out and say, look, these are notes that I've made on our journeys. I'm a scribe. That's why I can do this. And I'll summon the quill.
How did you write to Mazdak several in his book?
I was given the information about, presumably, your whereabouts.
Yes.
By Tersith. And they also showed me how I could write a note and project that into the spellbook of Mazdak. I was given the knowledge on how to do that by Tersith.
Right, so the book is indeed just a spell book then, and this other creature entity, just has that knowledge to be able to communicate through any book, I suppose, and this one is the bonds, like you said, the entrance to the library, or even just the gifting of the book to Mazdak, so they know who has the book and where to write to.
Yes. But for what purpose is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of.
Well, just, charity. They saw my potential and being wasted.
It would be knowledge, wouldn't it? If you ask certain questions about certain incidents upcoming or there being, they gain
This
that
is
knowledge.
an odd question. Sorry, Deadlius. Mazdak. The time rifts.
Yes.
They happen. You got this book after they started happening, correct?
No.
No, you got it a long time before.
Yes, I believe that's right, DM.
Mhm.
Yeah. I could.
Okay. It is good to know. I'm trying to
Yes,
think.
I don't think there's any connection between this entity and the time rifts.
My assumption
I
was,
think this is something that has been insidious amongst the wizards for generations.
So, if it's been, as you say, for generations, and nothing bad has happened, why is it a problem now?
I'm only uncovering it now. But do you really want something with power over the most powerful people in the world?
Well,
The
obviously
people
not.
that basically run the world? And there's something behind it? I'm not
Okay.
comfortable with that.
No, knowledge is power, and if
Quite.
this book has been about for thousands of years, if you've heard of something like this beforehand, then yes, it seems that with each year, each century, power is most definitely gained.
I think we could discuss this until we're blue in the face, but we won't know for sure until time passes. The thing I suggest is we just keep an eye on it all and see what happens. So far, it doesn't seem to have any bad intentions, but looks aren't always everything.
unless it's just waiting for the right moment. And with the
Like
end
you
of the
say,
world nigh,
wizards being distracted by the end of the world.
Perhaps she's working through our research to assist us in stopping the time rifts.
Or working through your research to beat us to it.
To stop it, yes, probably.
Or to take it. Remember what it is.
Why?
No offense, Several, but when we first met you, we thought you had bad intentions.
And sorry,
sometimes I've had.
bear with me here, several as well. Just trying to wrap my head around all of this. But a question completely different. Being such a student of magic, if you had made a deal with an entity and broken that, and it could now find out where you are and follow you, how do you think that entity would do that?
The most common way to locate somebody is with some sort of divination magic.
Yes. Anyone or anything other than
Yes.
that?
I mean, possibly. It depends on the entity and the nature of the bond between them. There can be sort of trace magics that can flow out through the fabric of the arcane. But
Almost like you could see the weave of magic itself and pinpoint that to certain users.
the magical weave is a thing, and I'm sure you know of it.
Yes, definitely. That's why I'm asking. It's just confirmed and sort of like settled my mind a bit that we're doing everything we can. Thank you.
Well, it's getting late, and I have places to be.
Oh.
Sorry, I just after you said that, I just wanted to say, but baby, it's cold outside.
Okay, well, thank you for dropping round, several. Interesting things have been learned all round, I think.
Yes, very
And of course,
nice to meet
if you do need to, talk to me, you can write me a note.
I can.
Unfortunately, I don't think if I write back, I don't think you'll get it.
No. It would be the other one that would get your message.
Yes. Interesting. I wonder if she can see what you wrote.
I don't think so.
But it's in the book. Interesting.
I don't think Tursith would have given me any information that would compromise you or me.
That's fair. Right, well, I must think about this and study.
I'm back, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
If there's nothing else, then I will. And he just starts walking for the door.
Good luck with your investigation.
Right,
He's
well,
gone.
if there's nothing else, I'm going to go to my room.
Yes. Oh, Amaris, before you go.
Are we not leaving tonight?
Mazdak has gone and shut the door and locked it.
It would seem not.
Right.
Quite late. But it does confirm what we've just talked about and what I just asked several. That depending on how powerful this entity is that's trying to get to you, I am definitely doing all that I can to make you harder to find. And assuming that that would have been quite a lengthy conversation we have just had with several, we'll then tap Amarius on the shoulder again and cast it again.
Okay.
So, at least for the night time, the spell would be active. Just come and find me straight away in the morning so I can cast it again.
Okay. Just to make doubly sure, I want to try and disappear into my special place.
Marius vanishes.
And when I'm in there, I want to see if I can contact Amanita with this spell on me.
Okay. Are you just gonna sit in a comfy chair and speak to the room?
I'll just go, you there? You listening?
And there's a coming together of spores in the air just form into the visage of Amanita, sat in another chair. Yes, Marius.
Just checking.
Just checking.
Just checking if you could find me.
I can always find you.
So Thaddeus isn't that good then.
How so?
Well, he's put a little spell on me apparently, which means that entities can't find me, but you found me.
Well, we are connected through this space. It is different. If something else was trying to find you, they may not be able to.
Hmm. Okay, I was just testing your theory. Don't feel like you have to stick around.
Always busy. Just
Yeah.
Just on the outside, if anyone's still in the room, Thaddeus will be like, I don't have the spell ready at the minute, but I don't suppose anybody else can detect magic, can they?
But I'm not there.
Yeah.
No. Not
Just
myself.
needs faith.
This is the. This is all the magic I have, and I will tap like a salt shaker or something on the table and cast light on it.
Still.
What were you trying to investigate, Thaddeus?
Well, just what several said. I just wanted to see, so you were saying that Marius had a ring before that he used to disappear into.
Yes.
So the ring would have been its own space.
Did
in my
Amarius
head.
have a ring on during that conversation?
But if this new deal he's brokered has a different way of him finding his safe space, I was just going to see if there was a trace of Amaria still being in this room.
Might be a mushroom on the floor.
No idea.
I believe he can
All of
hear
this
us, though.
magic makes my head spin.
actually, Thaddeus, just make a perception check for me.
So here's a question, what I thought about earlier on. So, I'm just going to ask this now. It doesn't go on to this, but my channel divinity and blessings of knowledge, or knowledge of the ages, where I get to add my proficiency to stuff.
Mhm.
It says any like skill I can add it to. Does that also include ones that I'm already proficient with?
That's a good question. I'll look into that.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't count now because I am not proficient in perception, but I will use that now. Use one of them just so I can add that to it. Plus 8, 21.
Okay. Just looking at it, it says for 10 minutes you have proficiency with the chosen skill, which suggests that it doesn't stack. It won't give you expertise.
Yeah, no, but it's not like, so if I added it to say like intelligence and then I did it with history, essentially.
Oh, that way
See
round.
what I mean? Yeah. So obviously it would then get another +3 on top of that.
Right. It says choose one skill.
Yeah, so assuming that.
It's not a
I would
stat,
be.
it's
I
a
think
skill.
that would rather be like a
So
a
you would
skill
put
rather
it on
than a
history
stat.
rather than
Yeah.
putting it on
Yeah.
intelligence and then rolling history. That's not how that
Yeah.
works.
Right.
So you would have to put it on history. But if you're already
Yeah, but-
proficient, you can't.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was asking. I was
Yeah.
just making sure. But yeah, I would have done that obviously with perception and added it to as I'm proficient.
I mean, you've got enhanceability as a spell, which does exactly what you're describing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, 21.
21 on you. Yeah, as you sort of are talking about Imarius, and you look over to the space in which he disappeared, there's just a very light darkening of the carpet in a circle in the area he left.
I want to find something that makes a really annoying noise and put it in the middle of that circle. And just leave it there.
So you
Maybe
want
he's on
basically
a safe
Mazdak to
note.
stand in the circle and talk to Amarius.
I mean, that might work.
He would find that annoying.
Or you could always ask Kral to make a small device that could record Mazdak's voice on loop and literally just put it there, so Mazdak doesn't even have to be in the area.
I'm reading it now to see whether I can. I know I can hear what's going on outside, but whether I can choose not to hear.
Nope.
After seeing this,
It's just like thinking one of those cymbal crashing monkeys. You know.
Yeah, while inside you can hear the area around your vessel as if you were in its space. So yeah.
After seeing this this darkened area on the carpet, I'll just get a bit closer to it and just to warn him, nothing sinister or anything about it. I'll just basically be like, I think they can still track you even when you're in there.
And I'll just roll my eyes into the thing, like I've already worked that out. Obviously I can't reply, so
Right. Good night, all. Yes, I think my brain's done for the day.
Good night, Thaddeus.
And you'll actually see Thaddeus go upstairs and go to his room.
My
tonight.
God, not taking over the couch.
You can certainly find an empty bedroom.
Yeah, I think we'd said it before that I was
Yeah, it's a
going
magic
to do
house.
one next to Mazdak. Yeah,
Magic house.
yeah, and then just I'll just go to sleep for now, and then just take in the room and I'll start nodding off to thoughts of what I can do to make it personalised.
Cool. Yes. This house of requirements produces as many bedrooms as needed. Okay. Well, I think with everyone going off to bed, we'll end there for the night.
Please,
Cool.
Mr. DM, please, oh wise and benevolent DM. How many more hours can I cross off, please? And thank you. I would have spent most of when we got back reading,
Yeah.
and a little bit later into the night.
Let's see. From getting back, I don't know, another 4 hours.
Would I be able to make any headway with the bracers in that time?
Yes. You just gone straight. You weren't part of that at all.
No,
were
literally, I went straight to the workshop and I began
Yeah.
working.
Okay. There you are. See. Oh, I was gonna say, give me a specific tools check or something. You've got a multi-tool that can be whatever tool you need it to be.
Yeah.
It would kind of be a jeweler's check.
Okay.
So, and I don't think the multi-tool or the all-purpose tool gives you proficiency.
It does, I think, actually. My artificer has it.
So the all-purpose tool.
Yes, it does. It does.
yeah.
Okay.
It's really good item.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Brilliant for what I need. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, make a dex check with proficiency.
okay, cool. So it's a 13 on the dice. See, it's dexterity, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so +3.
And another 3. So 19.
Another 3. So yeah, 19. And then obviously, if I can see that I'm not quite getting there, sort of as a reaction, I'll sort of just push a little bit of the flash of genius into it.
Yeah.
So it'll be 24 total.
Okay. So you spend the time. You've got this sort of complete, like almost egg of a gem. You get that in your vice, and you start working the shape of it. And you end up after a couple of hours working on this with a piece that looks like it's going to fit in. We'll actually complete
Yeah.
time, but you've got the material, you've got it in the right shape, and you just need to fit that in now.
Great.
So, yeah, we'll end there for the night.
Okie dokie.
Cool. So
Awesome.
after last week of being dragons and this week being arbiters of the dragon, the new Dragon King for the town, do we level up?
You haven't been in a fight since you last leveled up, not your characters.
We've been in a mental fight, so it's a mental.
All we've done is walk through a portal.
That's five sessions. That's now been since you leveled up.
Yes, we may not have flexed our physical muscles, but we have flexed our mental muscles.
Yeah, we're wandering about in wibbly wobbly timey wimey, aren't we? So it's
Yeah.
And now we've got to contend
Anyway.
with Mazdak might have a strange deal that he doesn't know anything about.
Do you want to know?
Probably.
I have a theory about that.
Good.
That Nimrillen is potentially a fourth immortal that we do not know about, who is devoted to Tersith and has kind of gone rogue.
Could be. I mean, she's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with her. She's a great person.
So instead of trying to maintain the balance, she's now trying to ensure that wizards thrive and maintain a preeminent position in the world.
If you want to go really timey-wimey about it, though, it's Terza before their ascension, trying to put all the pieces in place to make sure of their ascension.
I think we need an
That
inspiration
is the
point
most
for
passive thing
Martin's.
ever.
Martin's character.
Tersith is basically playing the longest of long games.
The best thing about this is that Martin is sitting there going, "They are way the fuck off."
Yeah, it's
And
the
it's a case of,
It's going, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I'll go with that.
yeah, that's also
Yeah.
that's also true.
That's the other way.
it is
I
the
got when-
open door. How do we open this door situation all over again? Just slightly
Thank
more
God
complex.
when they're known to be definitely neutral and sitting on the fence is just playing the longest con ever for someone just to go up to him and push him over to one side.
What Bernia was trying to imply was that this entity may be kind of taking notes, getting Mazdak to do all the work, to swoop in and nab the key, before we can do what we need to do.
No, that'll be fine. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, the neutrality might not necessarily mean neutrality in the traditional sense. It might just be playing one side and then playing the other side at the same time. Cause absolute
Yeah.
chaos.
Look,
Yeah.
she's just trying to help me out because I was, so down on my luck. No
Because you are
money.
her special boy.
I am her special little boy, and she's just being charitable.
But yeah, I'm going to stay
Uh-huh.
with my. She's the fourth unknown immortal theory.
It's a good theory.
I don't know. It's almost as if like 3 members of this party are in some form of pact or another. It's just that, my one was born off of having my life saved rather than.
Technically, it's 5 members now. If Mazdak is in fact in a sort of pact/deal with somebody, because
I can't speak for Salviel or Thaddeus on their relationships with their gods.
but because they are wielding divine magic, they are contractually obligated to that god. Therefore, they're in some sort of pact.
It is something that I missed the timing on it to say, but Salviel was muttering so hard during Mazdak's argument about, oh, it's fine to talk to a book, but when I speak to a god, I'm crazy. Right.
Yes. Yes.
So it's
Exactly.
only Carl and Sasha that are sane then, is that what we're trying to say?
Hey.
No.
Sasha regularly has
Sasha,
conversed with Amriel, therefore also falls into the god bothering category.
I don't think Sasha's
and
ever
Carl
spoken
blew
to
up a
Amriel.
mountain, so I don't think any of us have
Sasha's
claim
never
to
spoken
sanity.
to Amriel.
He's prayed to Amriel on at least 3 occasions since Carl joined
Yeah.
the party.
Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a...
A lady?
Happened.
No, wait.
Nicely
Hey.
done, Jay. Right, anyway, let's wrap this up so that Stream can disappear at least and we can have this conversation until the end of the world. So, yeah, thank you all for playing. Thank you, Martin, for coming up with this insanity. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. Yeah, we will be back here. Will we? Yes, we'll be back here on Tuesday for...
Yes.
Oh, yes, that was the other question.
If I can get my arse in gear for...
For
Or more
mutiny. I mean, for backing up our captain.
For more shenaniganry.
Yes.
Backing up your captains, he backs up... Well, actually, no, let's not go there.
Okay.
All kind of need
Somebody else
typography.
is backing up into him.
Hey, we faded to black.
Yeah,
That was the end
that's
of
it. No more. So
You
yeah,
never know,
we'll be
you
back
never
on Tuesday
know.
for the Elusive Tide. Are we doing an Easter Sunday or are we not?
I didn't.
Because
I thought
next
that we
weekend
were
is
going to take Sunday off just
Easter.
in case, didn't we?
So
True, if everyone's available.
yeah, I'm available.
I may miss the first half, but I'm a minor character in the campaign at the moment anyway, so...
Okay. If
I
if you're-
potentially will not be here because we've got an Easter party at the social club.
well, if we've got, let's just take the week off then. If you've got 1.5 absentees, then
Okay,
we'll just-
so we will not be here on Sunday. But as ever, if you enjoyed this, and why wouldn't you? It's fucking brilliant. Thank you very much. We love you. You're fab. What a great person you are. If you didn't enjoy it, you know what to do. Off you fuck.